got a platform, wow. How many new arrivals? Wow. One I picked up myself. That was a very good. How was your 4th of July? You have a wonderful time? Ate every pizza and enchilada and went to how many movies? Whatever is available in the town? Isn't it kind of fun to come here and relax and have fun? Food is always food. Food is always there and you are there and no hassle, isn't it? The subject which I am talking to you today is very important. Try to understand very cautiously and clearly that life has 3 parts. The most important part of life is the body. Second part of the life is mind. And third part of the life is the spirit or the soul or the nervous energy, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Basically you have 10 bodies. You have soul or spirit. You have mental negative, positive and neutral. You have physical body. You have arc body. You have auric body. You have pranic body, you have subtle body, you have radiant body, etc., etc. But let's put it this way. You live not by the ears, or you live by the breath. Soul is granted that many breath, pranic breath, and once you finish that quota, soul shall enter the subtle body and shall leave. Physical body cannot hold it. Without prana, physical body cannot hold the soul. Now, all this mental upset and problem and feelings and security and insecurity, if you waste all your time on that, how much time you can enjoy your life? If God, if it is true, and it seems to be true, God has given you soul and chanced a soul to experience the world, and God rotates the world morning till night, on an axle. In 1 year it rotates through its orbit. And when you are born like a child, and you had a nurse and you had a milk, and you have a protection called father, and everything grew up without your any hassle, why you are hassling now? Why do not innocently keep going? Have you ever an idea why we cannot innocently go? Can you answer that question? When we lose our innocence, then we get corrupt, and then problem of the life starts. Child remains innocent, therefore child is always provided. So sometimes child start doing drama and trauma, they are not provided, they get beating. Similarly now, when in life you do drama and trauma, and you get beaten. But are you not tired of this beating? I'm asking a question. Then why don't you stop? What is the idea of suffering when there's no reason for it? The tendencies to suffer is based on diagonal situation. You see, when you drive a car at night, the light doesn't go straight in a beam, light goes like this. It spreads 60 degrees both sides, so you can see the road. Then it has a switch underneath, if you press it, it gives you the distance. It's called flat light, or it subdues. So those things are life. If you walk in life like this, seeing all sides of it, and giving yourself width, you will be prosperous. If you just go like this, you will be unhappy. It doesn't mean, prosperity does not mean you have money. There are a lot of people with a lot of money, they are suffering. They do not enjoy life prosperously. Your problem is not giving yourself width. You should see that as you grow, you must grow in your intelligence and in your consciousness. Now, who's best in mathematics? Yeah, you, right? You have a computer? Take your computer out. Take your computer out. Okay. Now, 18 is the unit. 18 is the unit. Cycle of life is 18 years, 1 unit. Your life will change after 18 years, whether the astrologer tells you or psychic tells you or you tell yourself. Your life will change and shall change after every 18 years. Biophysical change. Your intelligence will change after every 11 years. Your consciousness will change after every 7 years. There's nothing you can do. Whatever you can teach a child up to 3 years shall be all, and whatever you can mannerfully educate a child up to 7 years, that's all. And whatever you can give the values to a child up to 11 years, that's all. After that you can teach a child. Then the uphill war. You fight, and that's it. So what is the proportion, my dear? If 18 is 1, how much intelligence will be in proportionately? 1 point what? 1.64 should be the development of intelligence, right? And by 7, what is consciousness? 1.64 and 2.57 proportion in which your consciousness and intelligence must increase. Otherwise you will be a dumb idiot suffering and you have no chance. Doesn't matter how much wealth you have, how many men you flirt with, how many marriages you take place, how many children you have got, but basic elementary growth is not there. You understand the technological statement I am making? With 1 unit of 18 years, you should be more intelligent. That is what, 0.64? You should be almost half and a quarter, almost. You should be more intelligent. And 2 point what? Oh my God, 2 point, it means more than a double, you should be conscious. If it is not true, if it is not true, you should have no depth for you. So you will be floating, trying to look good, trying to look beautiful, trying to look intelligent, trying to look conscious, trying. Because when mouth is empty, it talks. And if you talk all about sweet, you will not feel it. If you have food, you won't get it. But once the mouth is full, you don't talk. You can't talk. By talking sugar, you won't get sweetness. By talking food, you won't quench your hunger. But by fulfilling the mouth and eating, your stomach will get it. But when you are full mouth, you will not talk. If your proportion is developing personality like 1.64 and 2.57, you shall not have any trouble in your life, doesn't matter who you are. Religious, non-religious, this is a matter of branding the aspirin in many ways. If proportionally you develop this way, you will enjoy it that way. You will be satisfied. And you will be content, you will be contained. When you are content and contained, whatever will come to you will be priceless. When you are not content and contained, you will continue in trouble. When you are content and contained, there shall be no trouble. You should be valued, you should be respected, you should be considered gracious, because your projection or your behavior is responsible for you. Your value, your worth is how you behave. This is a planet Earth. You will be treated according to your worth. Your worth is based on your karma, action and reactions. And your resurrection, you will resurrect everything because you are contained and content. And you are contained and content when your life is proportionately developed. In first 18 years, you should be more intelligently developed and consciously alert to the point of 1.64 and 2.57. That is a mathematical calculation. Do you understand that? So as parents, if your parents would have told you this formula and worked you out through this formula, you shall not have any suffering in your life. But what you get physically very strong, fashionably very beautiful, and you develop your emotions and commotions in the proportion of exactly 3.5 is the limit, and every woman emotionally and commotionally develop herself from 4 to 6. And that's your destruction. If a woman is emotional, she is a tragedy to herself. If she is commotional, she is a tragedy to her entire world. All this fashion, all you do with the one point, you should look very sober, graceful, wise, conscious, intelligent. You want to look beautiful, sexy, sensual, attractive, seductive. Now, where the hell I should change you, I don't understand, tell me. The fact of life is a fact of life. If you are not contained, you are not tolerant. Your tolerance, your patience. And woman has 16 times more intelligence, patience. Every male capacity, if it's a 1 unit, woman has 16 times more. Because she has a graduation to be a mother one day. Therefore, our biological, physiological, sociological, mental capacity is creative to 16 times more, provided she explores it. And if your proportion in that scientific way is not developed, you shall have no self-trust. Therefore, you will mess up everything. Because you are 16 times also competent to mess yourself. Yeah. In one way, if you are 16 times more competent to be creative, to be better, whatever you are, that 16 times shall work both ways. That's why men take advantage of you. You are not born to suffer. You are born to give birth to a man. How can you have the capacity to give birth to a man? You suffer in the hand of a man because your self-confidence is not developed according to the rhythmic psyche of you. At the very first birth of you, you are told you belong to somebody else. You don't belong to this house. You have to go somewhere. And then when you grow up, you are asked to find some man to live with. Your whole hassle is a man. If you just hassle to be you, man will come to you. And I tell you something today, things which won't come to you are not worth running after. When you start running after things, then you keep running till death. And that's why majority of the women in America and Western world, once they are told, I love you, they think something has started, they think something has ended. Because they don't trust the word. You cannot trust the word. Therefore, word doesn't trust you. In the beginning, there was a word was with God, and word was God. Word is God. Whatever you say is a Akashic record. So technologically, And biologically, your beauty, your health, your attraction, your psyche, which can get you all what you want, depends on your contentment. Every woman has 16 times power to destroy herself or build herself. But you always, humanly, build sectionally. That's very important to know. You have the capacity to build yourself totally. Some women can get into business, some women get into ego, woman has a problem that she uses this 16 time power to develop a section of her, not a whole of her. If you just develop the whole of you as a woman, with that capacity which God gave you 16 times, 16 count more, you have no problem at all. There's no match between you and man. It's 1:16 ratio. Nature provided it. You didn't ask for it. So technically speaking, you have the capacity to love, to build yourself, to build the environments, build the future, build everything. You don't need help. Simply it is called, word is called, repeat it, word is called applied talent. Applied talent. In you there are three things which are very important. One is applied, other is caliber, applied talent and caliber and consciousness. Applied talent is whatever you are going to do, just understand what will be the sequence, consequences, action, reaction, progression and regression. All 6 things can be computed by applied talent. What is the second part? Caliber. Caliber is width, length and width. You know, caliber you can understand? There's a BB gun, it has no caliber. If you want to kill an elephant, you have to, then you can't use BB gun. You have to do bigger caliber. So with every personality, according to the man's status, and the statement should be made according to the caliber of the status. You cannot talk the way you want to talk or you are talking. Your talk must match the caliber. That's called statement. Part of the statement is, word says you get me out of the mouth, I'll take you out of the tongue. Power of the word is impossibly powerful. Nobody can measure it. One wrong word at one wrong moment, it takes to destroy the whole world of yours. And especially woman word, because she has 16 times more power than a man. Man needs you. Man cannot love you. That's the secret which is very painful and you should learn as a woman. Man cannot love you. How can man love 16 times thing better and bigger than him? Now tell me. Who's lying to who? No man has the biological, sociological and physical capacity to love a woman. She is 16 times more insecure. 60 times more secure, 60 times better, 60 times burst. It's a whole 60 times more range. It's too vast to cover. So basically man needs you. Therefore he feeds you. Therefore all the time he reads you. Do you think he does? Man will feed you. What else he does? He needs you, he feeds you, and then he reads you. You always see men saying, what do you say? You say it again. Read. He needs you, he feeds you, and then he reads you. That's why they invite you to lunch, to dinner. He wants to know what your mood is. No man is born yet which can know the mood of a woman. There's no man, there's no such man. If woman mood is rude or crude, she is totally out. Your rudeness and crudeness, your politeness and brightness can bring you the planet. If you are polite and bright, you have it all. If you are rude and crude, you have nothing. It's a decisive factor, it will never miss its mark. You have to rude once, crude only half a time. Because when you are rude and crude, you are automatically 60 times plus. But when you are bright and polite, you are 16 times plus. So please understand your impact for you. Man will always read you. Hello, how are you? How you feeling? That son of a gun is not trying to know your feeling. He's trying to know what your mood is about. Are you rested? Are you happy? Are you itchy? Are you bitchy? Are you going to stitch his mouth? Are you going to let him talk? Are you let him watch the television? Have you seen when people want to watch television and eat just their dinner? What's cooked now? What's Have you seen? It's called boar talk. You know what a boar is? Pig. Yeah, boar. Yeah. Men have these are men's knowledges. This is his communication. First is boar. Then second is fish, slippery. What do you say? I didn't hear you. Did I? In the morning? There are certain things you should know about men. One is boar, one is fish. Right? One is deer. Like antelope, he will start jumping and making kind of happy moves. That is sexy. And then other mood of his is like a lion. He will roar. What? What do you say? Huh? What are you talking about? Are you out of senses? What are the 4 animals I said?
4 fish, deer, lion.
Very rarely man talks like a man. Very rarely. And when he talks like a man, at that time he talks like a wise, fatherly, assuring, and extremely personal. But very rarely. When he talks like a man, you will find one word. He will start with word don't. Don't you touch, don't you worry, don't you do this. He cannot speak more than 3 words. Take it granted. I mean, I'm just teaching you psychology of communication. 3 words he will say. Shut up. Stop this. Get out of here. Everything will be almost 3 words are very rare. 2 will do. Then he's talking as a man. There's no game about it, no playing about it. Don't worry. None of your concern. Don't bother. This is man's language. Who? Don't pay attention. This is the maximum he can say. I will take care. If he says, I'll take care of it, it's a rare man. I'll take care. 2 or 3 words. That's all. So which is done? You want a boar? You want a deer? You want a fish? You want a lion? Or you want a man? All are no good, right? Yeah, they are no good. Because you want to talk and talk and talk and talk. You are a quack machine. One thing you must understand, men don't like to talk and you don't want to stop. That's the real difference. You want to know of every detail. Men want you to know all the detail and do it all. They don't want to work home. Men do not want to work home. Men do not want to take care of the family in the way you, because you have 16 times more delightful way of detail and aggressiveness are going into everything. Man doesn't have it. If you want to get your plates broken, ask him to wash dishes with you. One day, take 16 dishes, see in how much time man washes and what quality is there, and how much you do and what quality. I mean, these are very simple things. Because you do not understand the capacity of the man. He is outwardly aggressive. Inwardly hollow. Because what goes out creates a cavity. You are inwardly solid, outwardly sophisticated. You are not outwardly aggressive, doesn't matter how rude you may be. Rudeness and crudeness is your tomboy nature, because we have a male in us too. That's not a woman. And moment you become a male behavior, in communication, you will lose the relationship. That you may have a relation between a female and female and a male, or female and a family. When you leave sophisticatedness out of your language, you lose, because your words are effective 16 times more than that of man. So you don't have a space for error. You'll cut both ways. So the best way is to rule the situation, to command the situation, and wear the crown of the situation. Therefore you need width. Domain they call it. You have to have dominion. And then you can dominate your dominion with absolutely subtlety. And you must, as a female, be subtle, because that is your fulfillment, because ultimately soul lives in the subtle body and leaves the planet. So woman is meant to be liberated, and her behavior will prove it when she is settled. But in your communication, in your behavior, and in your ego, if you start this chine like a rat, it's called rat talk. Or you start barking, or you start totally frustratedly, absolutely frowning, and those kind of things you use, or you create dramatizing and traumatizing, you will have no place in the world of a man and in the word of God. Your victory is in your subtlety. Your victory is in your subtlety, your victory is in your smiles, and your victory is in your sophisticatedness. How sophisticated you handle a thing, that matters more than anything else. You are the master of your own destiny. Take it that you want it. And sometime you forget what you are saying. Silently participation can give you more room than your debate, arguing, logicking and all that kind of stuff. You need a space. You have to learn alert and pay attention what is being said. Because men have very short words. They speak in very short language. And they want quick result, quick response. Because man needs you, and if your response is not quick, you will lose a man. It's not your intelligence. Your intelligence in is quick response. Whatever he says, response back to confirm you have listened. Never with a man argue, always dialogue. Dialogue is at equal space. Argument in a win and lose space. If you lose, you will be losing 16 times more. What is the idea of losing? In dialogue, nobody loses. Do you know the difference between dialogue and communication? You know between talking and speaking the difference? And do you know when you talk, or you speak, or you dialogue, or you communicate in a language which is basic? You know what a basic language is? Basic language has no adjective. And abuse and love language of the basic language is the same. Hey, what about, you see, have you seen people talking? Husband and wife, friends? It's called body language. There's no adjective. And same thing in love. There's no adjective. A lover not say, please, could we go today and lunch and thereafter we can have a chance of a rendezvous. No, no. He say, hey, let's go to lunch and rendezvous. It will come to first person. Hey, even in Guru's language, tu hi, you. There's no adjective. There comes a status between two individuals where there's no adjective. Even in that language, woman should be sophisticated. But her response should be 16 times quicker. There is only one way you can hold a man. Using your full capacity of response. What's that I said? Alert and? You have to be alert. You have to be alert. And by nature you are alert 16 times. What is the other thing? Everything in you is 16 times, good or bad. All this fashion and this sexy thing and all this what you are doing, putting yourself on the sale all the time and trying to look beautiful and seductive and all that, will not do anything. It's a very cheap thing. You will be hurt. And all you have is youth. If you are physically going to damage your nervous system, and mentally you are going to be berserk and bizarre, and spiritually you are going to dumb and dull, where are you going? I'm asking you. How much lipstick can save you? How much can powder can enhance you? How much your hairdo can sell you? I mean, so what are you talking about? How many your short pants and sexy clothes and your big boobs and all that stuff? I mean, say, people are doing left and right. Well, what that means actually? What it means? It's a sale talk. Sale talk is not a female talk. Do you understand? You do? What it means? You know, you get married, you wear bride clothes, right? Huh? How many times thereafter you wear bride clothes? Come on, talk to me. And why? I went to flea market that day and I saw there 10 bride clothes. Bride dresses, beautiful. She was saying $20 each. I just forgot to buy them. If I would have bought just the satin of those, I'm going to next week if she's there. I don't think she sold anything. She may not come. It was about couple $1,000 worth of a satin. Just if you tear them up and just would have used the cloth, best cloth of the time. So may I ask one thing? Why you dress up in bride clothes? When after one day you are never going to be bride. And why you forget you are a bride? Why you, damn it, forget you are a beloved? Why you forget that? Come on, now why are you not answering? Why you forget you are not bride all the time, and why you forget you are not a beloved all the time? Because you have capacity to forget 16 times more. I'm not kidding, I'm telling you the facts. Your self-remembrance can be 16 times more than a man. Your self-forgetfulness be 16 times more than a man. And don't you ever become bride if you don't want to be bride forever. Never become a beloved if you cannot be beloved forever. You caused your destruction and your problem yourself. You become and then 16 times not become. You understand? When you are bride, he carries you like that and brings you in the house, right? Right? After that you drag your legs. Never lifts you again back into the house. Because bride is entitled to be brought into the house. Woman is not. Beloved is entitled to be loved. Woman is not. You are totally, madly, and crazy and insane when you do not understand. You change your status, that is 16 times more change, and then you expect the man to be the same. It will never be. It's not true. So on the very day of marriage, you set your divorce chances 16 times stronger. Your one rude word will affect deeper 16 times than a man. Man is very forgetful. Try sometime. Man comes, yells, scream and everything. After lunch or dinner, ask him what did he say. If he can repeat one word, I can bet anything. That's how shallow memory a man has. Doesn't matter what he does. At night he makes love and intercourse and does everything. In the morning ask him to repeat 10 sentences. $1,000 sentence. He can't repeat 1, 10, 2, 3. That's it. If man would not have got that kind of nature, man would have been hell living with, around and far. So God protected you for giving him 16 times less capacity. But also, it debarred you from using that capacity negatively. Why? Because mother has to be always 16 times positive. So God did justice to the innocence, and child is always innocent. You spoil your children. If you just bring children on this earth and just remain nothing but a child and mother relationship, not over-affection, under-affection, possessiveness and all that, your children will rise automatically to their destiny very beautifully. You will never have a trouble. Give them the values, give them the discipline, give them the strength, give them the length, give them the width. Simply, there's a child in every man. You can relate to that child and nurture that child. Your man shall grow and can swim through the high and low. But you become equal. You become competing, comparing. Either you can have compassion or competition, whatever you want. You can have one, not both. When you start competition, you are out the door. When you have compassion, nobody will ever shake you. Do you understand that? In sexual and sensual relationship also, you have to carry it on. Man in sexual, social, has a sensitive childhood. He becomes child. Is natural. As you carry the man in the womb for 9 months and some days, you have carried the man for 90 years and some days. First you carried him physically, then you have to carry him mentally. When you cannot carry the man mentally, man will be gone. And then you need that spirit. You are always pregnant. Your pregnancy doesn't stop after 9 months. You cannot carry the man rest of his life. Please don't marry. It is from birth to death. What's the difference? You have your own son, or you marry somebody's son? What's the difference? You love your own son, or you love somebody's son? No man can forget that he's a son. You attack him as a man, he will stand as a man and shall destroy you. The biggest blunder you can do in your life to attack a man as a man. Because his ego will never ever spare you. Because it's right there. Attack him as a child. Gee, what you did yesterday, God, can't you understand? Look at it. You look at it and say, oh, my darling, I'm very sorry. It was really a goof. I wanted to remind you then. No, in future I'll remind you before. Oh, I love you. Please let me know. But if you say, I'm so ashamed of you, what you did yesterday, and you say, you bitch, what the hell you are talking about? No. Before knowing what you are talking about, you both will be fighting and jumping at each other without knowing. Man is very quick response to fight. Because whenever a woman is rude or crude or abusive or taunting or whatever you call it, he feels avalanches coming. He knows your capacity from our mother that you are a power block. You are avalanche. So he can never by nature trust you. His subjection of a mother and a son become his objection to your life. Therefore, please understand man basically by his biological and psychological nature. Men of width can never be small. Men of small nature cannot be wide. Have you seen those men? Right straight from office to home. and right from home to office, right from bed to morning chair to watch newspaper and breakfast, and right at night to a chair to bed. Have you seen those? We call them narrow men. Then there are medium men. Once a while they play, jump around and do all things. And once a while they are into their chair, they call them chairmen. And once a while there are men you will write, to him sky is not the limit. But tragedy with these men is, like an eagle, doesn't matter how wide range they are, they always can look at you. This is how they are down there. There's nothing of you can escape their eye. They are very wide. They expect you to be perfect, and himself they don't care where they're flying. Yeah. Man has a very strange choices. One are narrow, tied down to their chair, one are medium between chair and eagle, and one are just eagle. So please understand basic natures. And develop yourself. Consciously, intelligently, multiply by 16 times. Because this positive and negative 16 times is the problem you have to deal with, nothing else. You understand? And never understand, once you are a bride forever. Once you are beloved forever. Never forget that, and man will never forget it. Because you have the capacity to penetrate and remind him 16 times. But you just become a bride for one day and then you forget it, and he forgets it too. Never try to take the track from a beloved to a bore, and from bride to a boss. Beloved to a bore, and bride to a boss. When you are bride, he carried you inside. When you will become boss, he will throw you out. When you are beloved, he ran to see you. When you are bored, he ran to be away. Everything is 16 times. You have the capacity to be happy. Provided you do not open your mouth. Fish. Have you seen the fish on the hook? Right? Why she got into that trouble? He opened her mouth. A fish stops opening her mouth, how many times you can fish? Never. You have to spear her. You can never hook her. Learn from fish not to open your mouth. Otherwise you will be in a frying pan. You hear me? So what should you do? When you want to speak, what you should do? Use your body language. Body language, your body language is 16 times faster and effective than your words. Your body sign and your body language and your body is 16 times effective and is always rewarded, because in this body you always carried the man. And subconscious memories are never forgettable. Only they enter the unconscious. So man unconsciously is very grateful to woman that she carried. And once she doesn't carry him, when he is in intimate relationship, he becomes very, 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 very mad. Now this is his unconscious. Though he couldn't breathe in the womb, but he still loves the warmth and being carried. I hope you understand that. You never looked at it that way? So you're going to think about it tonight? Sure? Will you listen to this lecture word by word and repeat it and think about it and see it and debate it tomorrow? Yeah, no. This magpie is good sign. She visits, she also comes to attend the course. Somebody can take her picture, it will be fun. A magpie can come to a class, can't you not? She's very relaxed. Yeah? What do you say?
Are there any special things that we need to look out for with our middle-aged men between 40 and 50 of what they're going through?
You must understand, man from day one, when he opens his eyes and closes his eyes, never changes. That's the tragic part of it. And you can never remain the same. That's nature. Weaning and waxing is your nature, not of man. But unfortunately, man expects the day he was bride with you, that's what his standard is. The day he was beloved with you, that's his standard is. You have to adjust. Man can't. If sun start weaning and waxing, what will hell will go to the planet? Oh, you can learn from sky, you don't have to learn from me. Man only remembers one thing, when he saw you, when he talked to you. First 3 minutes, set a standard in his brain which he cannot come out. 3 minutes. And after that, everything is a bull's workshop. First 3 minutes, as he saw you, as he talk to you, as he feel you. That's it. There's a set standard. Your relation with your child will always be the first time after 40 days, the first 3 hours. 40 days, child will develop a relationship, but 40th day, first 3 hours, child will establish a relationship with you which you can never change. In case of a male, it's a set standard. In case of a female child, it is set plus 16 times. Try to one thing. Next time when you get pregnant, 40th day, first 3 hours, keep on hugging a girl for 3 hours. If she does not demand whole life, you hug till death. Bet with me. The dawn of the 40th day, first 3 hours, decide your relation with your child for the rest of life. And between a male and a female, the relationship is first 3 minutes. When he saw you, when he talked to you, and when he felt you. In between there is no other rule. You go through middle-age crisis. Men don't, they only pretend. Men play sympathy, apathy game more powerful than any human being can imagine. For them everything is a survival. Because man has a total fear of a woman that she's going to leave him, she's not going to be with him, she's this, whatever bullshit is this, totally ridiculous and it's totally Western. I don't give it a damn, but fact is, between you and him, when you start as a female and male, man has already seen an avalanche. So you are going to get super reaction. So don't start. Because once you start, you can't stop. That's the law of avalanche. So what you'll do? He wants to start. What you'll do? You always know how to potty train a man. Don't you? Right? Keep in potty training till his death. Don't forget to potty train your man. But you leave it. Then he poops everywhere. And then you start crying. And you can't clean after him. And this is the whole hassle of family life. You potty train him once, you potty train him forever. Then the day you don't want to potty train him, take the Kleenexes and clean after him. Have you ever seen a room where man goes through, remains the same? How many women have found their men getting out of the bed and making the bed? How many women have found their men going to bathroom and flushing it? Or you can say 1 or 2%, forget it. It's not his nature. Can't you understand that? It's not his biological nature. If a man start making bed after he gets up and start flushing his bathroom after that, and clean the whole thing after his toothbrush and do all that, there is something deadly wrong. He's going to stay soon coming out of the closet and going to declare himself. Basic nature, when this basic nature of the man starts changing, it should be alarming like a bell of the church. Soon you are going to hear something. When a middle-aged man start wearing tight pants and stitching his tie and looking at his collars and doing all that, you better forget it. You better be warned. He's showing you something. Therefore, let us pray that God should take care of the man and you don't have to. Or will you? When you love a man or marry a man, do you understand you have to potty train him the rest of his life? You know what you are getting into? Romance and fantasies are fine, but reality is different. Close your eyes. Sit straight at great yogis. And play, I am beautiful and bountiful and blissful I am. And sing. This is the key to your all troubles. It is answer to your all questions. It is the way to God. It's a way of your redemption, divinity, dignity and grace. These words, beautiful, bountiful and blissful I am, shall never let you down. Just remember them. Make them your own. Write it on your forehead, in your heart. It's the only truth you have to know. It's only the trust you have to put in. And what is the idea? What is the circumstance? If you feel you are beautiful, bountiful and blissful, then you are. Then don't try to prove it. God shall prove it for you. That's the law of cosmos which you have to learn. When you believe you are beautiful and you don't try to prove it, then God will prove it. Anything which you won't do or you believe, the God shall come through. I always believed, and God will also came through. And that's the law. That's a law with which God is bound. Just believe what you are, and believe you are beautiful, bountiful and blissful, and don't prove it. Don't utter a word. God will speak for you. God will prove it to you. Look at me. You know how many times people have insulted me and tried to destroy me and call me names? When they call me names, I give them the God's name. I'm still alive. You know what is the secret of my victory? And how many enemies I have got? You can't even count. I've never tried to prove myself. When I started and people started and all that, these fanatic groups and other people who cannot believe what is going on, they tried everything, legal, illegal, personal, impersonal. Golden silence. You are not what you say. I said, oh, thank you. What do I lose? You are this, you are that. Thank you. They call me names, they call me everything, and I gave them the face and the grace and walked away. Now they meet me. Ah, Yogi Bhajana, I met you in 1971. You remember me? I say, yeah. I remember. Once somebody said, Yogi ji, remember me? I met you in 1970 in the very beginning. You remember me? I said, no, I know. You never used to tie the flaps of your shirt and your short. I remember you. Now I see that boy who never used to, he was almost 3/4 naked all the time. I meet him at the airport in 3-piece suit and tie, and I couldn't believe it. What are you? Now I'm executive such and such. I said, what happened to you walking naked? Well, you changed my life. I said, yeah, I have to. How many naked people you can tolerate? And this guy I particularly remember because he used to always be naked and wear something always torn, so his private part was just ringing around all the time. And one day I caught him and I said, look, at least have some respect. Cover this temple bell, I said. He never forgot that. And he met me at the airport after so many years. You could have totally flipped seeing his dressed up. He was so overdressed up. There were handkerchief here and everything. I said, thank you. I remember you, I said. Why not? You know, Clinton only puffed, he never inhaled. An affair, he was not in any affair, it happened, you know. It was just... So his wife forgave him, what about everybody else? I mean, you try to understand these days, and that was the era of 60s when people were not people. And I very calmly went through it. So I learned not to question, not to answer. So, people, those who loved me, they changed. They came to me, they progressed, they left me. It's very funny. Anybody who has left 3HO has just gone to that basic values. It's so painful to see. And I meet them, I talk to them. What happened? Well, and there's never an answer more than well. So I think they fall into the well. It's amazing. Just that period of 10, 20 years disappears. Totally. Therefore, I pray, may the... That's why my prayer is. That's why I like it. May your soul enrich your mind. May your mind serve your body in environments of the nature. May you always be healthy, happy and holy. May you carry on the mission of your life with magnitude and manners with grace and dignity. May your personality guide you to the infinity of God. Sadnam.